There are players who keep fans awake at night just thinking about them. Not because they've scored a hat-trick against their rivals, but because they bring a feeling that missing out on them would mean a decade of regret for Manchester United. Right now, Carlos Baleba is that name. The young Brighton talent is becoming a target that has Old Trafford in a frenzy, despite the price tag Brighton has set, likened to an impregnable fortress, €120 million, a figure that could rewrite the transfer history of the Red Devils for a defensive midfielder. What makes a club that has just gone through a phase of budget tightening under Ineos, which warned that reckless spending could bankrupt the team, now ready to break the bank for a 21-year-old? The answer lies at the intersection of tactical needs, the ambition to return to the top, and the belief that this is a deal of monumental significance. From the moment the first reports of Manchester United approaching Baleba surfaced, people were shocked by Brighton's valuation, €120 million, equivalent to £104 million, making him one of the most expensive players in Premier League history if the deal goes through. For many, this is a crazy figure, but for Brighton, it's a declaration from a club that knows the true value of the asset they possess. Baleba is under contract until 2028 with no release clause. He's a midfield linchpin, Brighton standout, young player of the 2020-25 season, and just turned 21 in English football, where money buys not only talent, but also time and growth potential. This price isn't far-fetched. For Manchester United, the issue isn't just the cost but the value he brings. In a context where their midfield lacks a true engine, that €120 million becomes an investment rather than an expense. Since the 2020-25 season ended, new manager Ruben Amorim has set a clear priority: improve the quality and fight in the midfield. Casemiro is declining and slow against the Premier League's pace. Kobbie Mainoo, though promising, still needs time to refine his game control. Manuel Ugarte, a recent arrival, is purely defensive, lacking creativity and the ability to drive the ball from deep. Baleba offers a near-perfect solution. He's a box-to-box midfielder, covering the entire pitch, defending robustly while supporting attacks rhythmically. His high-pressing, dueling ability, and composure under pressure make him the missing link for United on average per 90 minutes. Baleba recovers possession 6.5 times, ranking 7th among Premier League midfielders with at least 900 minutes played. In ball progression, he ranks 4th among defensive midfielders. His average pass length of 18.6 meters places him among the top for a defensive midfielder in the EPL, with his 61.6% accuracy rate a high figure, especially for a player prioritizing safe, short-range passes. It's no coincidence that Rio Ferdinand, Manchester United's legendary defender, bluntly advised Ruben Amorim, "Forget Sesko, bring in Baleba." That's the position we need to improve. This isn't just talk but the voice of millions of fans craving a revitalized Manchester United midfield. With Sesko already secured, signing Baleba would be a true explosion from every angle for the Old Trafford club. What's notable is that Baleba isn't just powerful, but also skillful. His pass accuracy, ability to switch play to the wings or thread through balls, and tactical awareness in positioning make him a vital cog in Brighton's build-up from the back. In Amorim's 3-for-3 system, he could seamlessly play as a dynamic number 8, aiding defense while linking to the attack. With Baleba, Manchester United knows he's the perfect piece to help Bruno Fernandes and surrounding satellites shine. Moreover, Baleba has proven his ability to adapt quickly to the Premier League's tempo. In his second season, he played 34 matches, making an impact with several stunning goals, including a long-range strike-voted goal of the month. At 21, Carlos Baleba is only at the threshold of his career, making him especially appealing to a club like Manchester United. This is the stage where a player's potential and hunger to rise peak. He has an ideal physique for a central midfielder: tall, muscularly powerful, yet agile enough to maneuver in tight spaces. This physicality, combined with solid technical foundations, composure under pressure, and a disciplined yet aggressive style, creates a rare skill set. If placed in Manchester United's high-stakes environment, where players must maintain intensity, focus, and tactical discipline at the maximum, Baleba could transform Under a manager like Ruben Amorim, known for high-intensity pressing, tight organization, and developing young players, he could not only refine his existing skills but elevate himself to a new standard. Over the next 4 to 5 years, with prime development time, Baleba could evolve into one of Europe's most complete midfielder. No transfer prompts fans to start a £120 million crowdfunding campaign to help their club sign a player. But with Baleba, it's happened. A group of Manchester United fans jokingly declared, "If Amorim signs Baleba, I'll name my firstborn Ineos." While clearly a jest, it reflects the unique allure this player generates. However, some United fans argue the club should pursue a flashier, more tempo-controlling midfielder rather than a box-to-box type like Baleba. But Manchester United's choice is grounded. A flair midfielder who dictates tempo and plays artistically can be useful in controlled games, but they often lack endurance, dueling ability, and press-breaking skills, things Baleba excels at. At 21, he has ample time to enhance his tempo setting. Alongside his existing qualities, Manchester United has scouted other midfielders who performed well at big clubs and had experience against the Big Six, but those pursuits remained mere interest, not all in focus like Baleba. He's shown remarkable adaptation to a demanding environment like the Premier League. Though only 21, Baleba has surpassed potential to mature in the toughest setting. Other targets United considered were mostly 24 to 26, a mature age but not meeting the long-term usability Baleba offers. In Baleba, United have a player ripe enough to start and young enough to develop into a long-term pillar in Europe's current market. With a price tag around €90 million and meeting United's needs, no one surpasses Baleba with a hefty budget. For a midfielder, Old Trafford has reason to choose this young man. Look at the Sesko deal. United signed him partly based on their steamed dark clip policy. If United know a player truly wants Old Trafford, they'll make offers. It's a great policy. United don't chase those whose hearts aren't with them. They need someone who genuinely wants to wear the red shirt. In Baleba's case, the Cameroonian has some affection for Old Trafford. His idol is Paul Pogba, who also had shining moments at the Theatre of Dreams. The crux of this tense saga lies with Brighton, a club that's built a reputation as the Premier League's selling kings. They never let stars go below market value. From Moises Caicedo to Alexis Mac Allister, all were sold for high fees after Brighton maximized their potential. With Baleba, they have even more reason to hold firm. He's central to their new manager's plans, and with a long contract, they face no pressure to sell. This forces United to make an unrefusable offer. They truly want him. Imagine a Manchester United in the 2025-26 season with Amorim's 3-for-3. Featuring Baleba and Bruno in midfield with Cunha, Bumo, and Sesko combining up top, it would be a resounding statement of the Red Devils' strength and a bold declaration to the Premier League and opponents' defenses. Baleba wouldn't just bring tactical balance, but also liberate other stars. Bruno would have more space, Mainu wouldn't have to carry the midfield's physical load, and the defense would face less pressure from counterattacks. Of course, risks remain. €120 million is colossal for a player untested in the Champions League and unaccustomed to a big club's constant pressure. Many question if Baleba has the mettle to handle Old Trafford's weight, and if he fails, what becomes of United under tightening financial fair play rules? But football history shows great clubs aren't built on safety or cautious moves, but by bold, even risky decisions at pivotal moments. Those are the moments when leadership places absolute faith in an individual, investing heavily and patiently with a long-term vision. If Baleba succeeds, he won't just be remembered as a financially expensive signing, but as the cornerstone laid for Manchester United's comprehensive rebuild, opening a new era where the midfield is built around his strength, creativity, and playing personality. For a club like Manchester United, desperate to return to the top, paying a huge price for what they believe in is an investment in the future, not blind recklessness. And who knows, a decade from now, when people recount Manchester United's resurgence, the summer of 2025 might be remembered as the starting point when the gem from the African continent, Carlos Baleba, stepped into Old Trafford, opening a new, glorious chapter for the Theatre of Dreams.